Welcome everyone to the next show of CFO Inside TV. I'm very happy that you're with us again today, and I'm also very happy to have Michael Ramroth, CFO of Biotest AG, with us today. Biotest is a drug producer for life-threatening or against life-threatening diseases, basing most of its products on blood plasma. Right. Hello, Mr. Ramroth.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
I've already mentioned what Biotest is doing. I'd like to start with a question about some good news you had last year. There was a product accepted in the US for distribution, which gave your share price quite a bit of a boost. Can you expand a little bit on that? What happened there?
Yeah, we were indeed very happy when you finally received, shortly before Christmas, the approval of the Federal Drug Administration, FDA, in the United States to launch the product in the United States. It was especially important for us because the United States is the biggest single market for immunoglobulin product. Worldwide, more than 100 tons are consumed and more than 45 tons are sold exclusively in the United States. So for a company like us being active in this plasma protein business, it's very important to be in the United States.
But you had bought into the United States already back in 2007.
Exactly. We bought a company there with one product already in the United States, but then we had to expand the facility in Florida in order to produce the product which is now licensed for the US market.
That was was it a certain gamble? Because, I mean, I think your share price reacted very positively on the news, but there was obviously more than 5 years after you bought that company. Were there times when you were
we had some no, not reconsidering, but we had indeed also some delay in building up this new facility that had to do with the changing of the fire code in Florida and things like that. So we are 1 year later than expected, and therefore it was a pleasant surprise that especially briefly before Christmas we finally got this approval, and we finished the expansion plans on time, so now we are ready to sell products. And in the end, that would add another $100 million to our sales worldwide.
Was that a problem for your profitability, that 1 year delay?
Of course, we had 1 year one-time costs, because the facility was almost ready and you had to depreciate the...
But you couldn't use it.
Yes, yeah.
And now you're investing heavily. Are you how much will that cost, and where do you get the funds from for that investment?
Yes, it's a good question. Indeed, we would like to grow the company even further. Now we have, over the last 3 years, we have heavily invested in the United States, and now I think it's back that we invest money in the capacity expansion here in Germany. And currently we are just doubling the capacity of producing albumin. That's another product out of human plasma. And this will cost us in this year roughly 50 million euros in order to upgrade the facility and to expand it. And but we don't have to worry about financing because we have still funds left. Since we sold the original diagnostic activities when Biotest was founded, it was founded as a diagnostic company, and we sold those activities over the last 2 years and have more than 100 million euro, sitting there waiting for a better investment now.
Okay, better than sitting around as cash.
Yeah.
Tell me, and you got expansion plans for other markets as well, as far as I know, especially emerging markets such as Russia and China.
Yeah.
So how will you enter those markets?
Those markets are pretty interesting for us because, as you know, the big markets, the demand is there for immunoglobulins and other products, but the countries are just too big, too large for us to start with our own organization there. So we have chosen to look for a distributor in those countries, and we have found, we think, good partners in Russia as well as in China.
You've had another emerging market issue with Greece recently. You were one of the first companies that publicly announced they would pull out of Greece sometime last year.
Unfortunately, we had to announce that we would withdraw out of Greece. We had our own subsidiary in Athens. But, over a time period of 4 years, we haven't got any money from the Greek hospitals there.
Okay.
And in the end, we got bonds. And we all know what happened to such Greek bonds. And, of course, we had also to suffer quite some losses. I think we lost 13 million euros in Greece. And that was a time when also our shareholders said, you have to think about another way. And we have withdrawn there, but also again, we have been lucky. We found a Greek pharmaceutical company who said, okay, we will continue to sell our products in Greece, but they pay in advance.
They pay in advance.
We are on the safe side.
So that's quite a change from worthless bonds to paying advance.
Exactly.
Have you started that already?
Yes.
And have they proved reliable as you expected them?
So the cooperation started at the beginning of this year. In January, we have received the first orders and we have received the first advance payments.
You also Biotest had an interesting change in the management structure recently, which I would like to talk about. You introduced the COO. And since you're part of the, before that it was two people, CEO and CFO.
We had a board consisting of two members, the chairman and myself.
Yeah.
And now we have included Mr. Floss, who was already responsible for all production operations. And he reported directly to the chairman. And now, since we have additional expansion plans, especially with regard to production, the supervisory board felt that it would be a good idea to enlarge the board, and now Mr. Floss is a board member, but it hasn't changed anything with regard to my responsibilities. So looking forward of discussing now all the expansion plans, in a 3-member board.
So you're not going to have more spare time?
Unfortunately not, no.
Okay.
I don't think
What's your responsibilities in particular, apart from the core finance function?
I'm also responsible for investor relations, of course, for IT, personnel, human resources, and also for the supply chain management.
Okay. Which is closest to your heart?
Of course, finance activities.
Okay. IT is a very typical case. Do you have any background in that?
No.
Okay. So
but we have good people to manage that. They don't have to rely on me.
All right. Thank you very much. Very interesting insights. And we have, as always, 3 final short questions, which I would just like to quiz you about with a request for short answers. My first would be, after your experiences in Greece, will you move out of another peripheral European country soon?
Good question, and we have been asked that, of course, also during our last shareholders meeting. The answer is clearly no, because up to now we don't experience any problems in any other countries. We have to wait a little bit longer for our money in Spain and Italy, but there is no reason that we have to be afraid that we should have to move out there as well. So the answer is no.
That was a long no.
Sorry.
That's fine. And would you consider buying a company in China at the moment?
No.
And the final question, your last capital increase was back in 2007. I just wondered, with all this growth, will there be another capital increase?
I don't want to exclude that, but currently there are no actual plans to do that. But if we continue to grow our business and build our next capacity, for instance, in the United States or in Germany, then we would definitely ask our shareholders to contribute to that.
Okay. Well, good luck with that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your time and for your insights. Thank you, everyone, for joining us again. I hope you had an interesting time with us, and I look forward to seeing you again next week for our next show of CFO Inside TV. Thanks and goodbye.